There are lots of situations where, for the sake of tempo and having more impact on board later in the game, I will take damage. A fair amount of damage from an attacking creature over time. Out to kill you. With a Planeswalker. Backsplash. So pretty great hand. Still not sure a short sword belongs in the deck. But there aren't a lot of great things in my sideboard that I would want to get rid of. So I think I would rather Lofty Denial here than use Grasping Darkness. Pretty good. If I don't draw anything relevant to put on board, I am going to fall behind here. The same can be said for him. So I still don't have double blue mana to cast the Drowser, although there's pretty significant reason to start dumping spells into the grave. Kite Sail here is a really clutch draw. I could have tapped differently if I wanted to black to be open. So he has his own Grasp, double finishing blow. Briar's wow, he has nothing but spells. Nothing but spells. So there's a very high chance now that I can miscast onto his 5-mana kill spell, which is insane. That would be absolutely insane, but that is one interesting hand. He just drafted all spells and then like picked around that for the core of his deck. I kind of like forcing him to pump and then using a kill spell. I think I'm going to hold back a blocker here. Because if he drops a land and attacks in, then I ultimately win that trade. So he pumps, and I grasp. He spent all his mana. His guy is dead. I really need double blue. But I at least have really strong cards in hand anyway. Sitting at 5 mana now. 2 mana off casting the whale. There's my single blue. So if I can't use this and have mana open for miscast, so I think it's actually correct. He's sitting at 6. I think it's actually correct not to play Drowser here. Until I have mana open to counterspell. Because he's just burning through removal spells. And we haven't even dropped our big creatures yet. There's a lot in his hand that I need removed. Still has 2 more in hand. Oh, that is so good. That is perfect. Having Rain of Revelation and Rewind in hand is amazing. Just amazing. And he has to be so frustrated. Draw 3, discard 1. Cancel is really, really good. Village Rites. I don't believe I want to sacrifice my creatures, and I'm not hurting on card advantage. So I'm going to drop the less impactful spell. And now he's still threatening me. So I think I just continue filling up the board and putting on pressure. Faith Fetters, Counterspell. And all of this is ensuring that when I actually drop a relevant creature onto the board, it's not going to be immediately taken out. Which is pretty important. He doesn't sack his guy, so he doesn't get the draw off of Witch's Cauldron. And now there are actually quite a few things I can bring back. Village Rites or Grasp are both quite relevant here. One more mana. And this could be a very different turn. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I could go 5 and 3 for 8. 1, 2. No. So I have 7 mana. I could just Whale. And not worry about bringing something back. Because whatever I bring back isn't really relevant right now. That was a little weird. A little bit flippity-floppity on what my play was going to be. So I could have brought a spell back with the Shipwrecked Drowser. But the only thing that I could have cast off that on the same turn would have been Grasp. Which I don't know whether I actually need that card in the game yet. But if I could have Shipwrecked and had 3 mana open and had a cancel up, I think that would have been a more powerful play. But with neither of those really being a good option, just dropping the 8 mana win con, I think does me quite a bit better. And now I still have the flexibility of picking something that I think impacts the state of the game the most. Okay, and now I can bring back like a cancel and just really ensure that I have the win. Counterspell to hand. Pretty awesome. It's going to be super fun when this deck actually works out. But it's very draw dependent. And it's quite the misleading box art there. Should definitely be labeled after Merfolk Wizard. It's quite a bit better. Quite a bit. I don't know if I've actually featured a blue-black control deck. I think one of my early drafts in M21 loosely fell into this archetype. Putting down the mutt. Putting down the mutt. And I'm going to take a look at your hand. Wow. Okay, that's very creature heavy. I'm glad that wasn't a duress. That'd be quite a bit worse. Swings in for 5. So he can pump the power of attacking creatures. He can Falconer. The death touch on my guy isn't really going to matter. Just want a good blocker on board. He could have 2 different creatures pumping attacks right now, which is Quite painful. And I think I'm actually more scared of the Mutt than I am the Charger. The Mutt doesn't have to attack to deal damage. Oh my god. Okay. Search your library for a card named Alpine Watchdog and or a card named Ingenious Cur. Pretty good, sir. Pretty good. It would be really nice to get Maze Mine Tome down. I suppose I can threaten him with double blocks. Yeah. I really need more action in this game. It's not going to be good enough to just hope that I draw into the cards I need. So he does attack with everything. And I'm pretty happy to double block the 3-2. So that he loses his pump. Whenever this guy attacks, gets plus X till in turn X's number of attacking creatures. That's pretty bad too. That's pretty bad too. Okay, everything's bad. We'll block here. And if I can just keep blocking and like starve him of creatures, I'll be pretty happy about that. 3 mana into 2 mana play. I think if I make it to the late game, I win. And especially with cards this good in hand. So 4, 5, 6. Could be pretty fun. I have the Rain Rewind combo. And I think I just counter that card. One of the important parts of Rewind is by trying to hold onto it to hit like the biggest spell possible, you actually lose value. Because the point is to cast it for 0 and do something else. So we'll drop an island here. And now I can cast the 8-drop. He's at 3 mana. I kind of doubt he does anything too amazing. I could search his hand with Freebooter, but that is quite a bit of a weaker play. So I'm basically putting down the 8-8 and then praying for the surrender. So, like, the whale would have forced him to attack in with everything. I would have gotten one good trade, probably. I only have the 8-8, a 2-2, and a 1-2. So I block his best creature with the 8-8. Hope he doesn't have a combat trick. But he had no answers to the 8-8 body itself. So that worked out. I didn't realize this was a feature, that I could look at the battlefield again. That's actually, like, pretty useful. There are plenty of games that I would like to spend more time analyzing. So, already up to 4 wins. This isn't the craziest deck I've drafted. It's not the strongest blue-black deck that I've drafted by any means. Just has relatively high card quality and good synergy. And it's going to punish average decks a lot more than some of the stronger archetypes in the format. Definitely. It's crazy to me. I've been like 3 days out of my exercise routine, and I can definitely see the difference. Does not take a lot. So I actually like holding on to Opt with this opening hand. I'm not hurting for land drops, and it's a really easy way to trigger Mistral Singer or something similar. My opponent, however, loves the turn 1 Opt. Oh, this is, yeah, still turn 1 for him. Like in a blue-red deck, you want to bin sorceries into the graveyard for the sake of your other cards. And probably not worth killing the Pegasus. If he attacks in, it's not worth blocking. Not until I have mana up to interact. Watcher is pretty huge. So discounts his flyers by 1, gets pumped every time he plays a flyer. And I will test out blocks here. He does nothing. So I'm going to develop my own Mistral. Have the 1 mana open to pump it. This does potentially give him a really powerful turn, not answering the 2/2. But it would have been a pretty weak use of my mana to do so. Gale Swooper gets discounted by 1. He gets to pump his guy. And I think it's worth the trade here. Black mana puts me at 5, but I have not grasped yet. So it's tough to say. Okay, so I have more proactive plays here. Turns out the 3rd black mana is pretty good. And I'm going to go ahead and do this now so that I can swing in with my 3/3. And it looks like I'm pretty far behind on card advantage to my opponent, but the value of what I have in hand is pretty high. No blocks. Not super worried about losing to the race. This is a little weird. I have Rewind, Rain of Revelation open. Three, 5. But if I get Grasp, I can actually play 3 spells in 1 turn. So, yeah. Just develop my own board state. I do want to play this when I know my opponent doesn't have counter magic open. I think that's pretty important. And the game has turned into somewhat of a race. Rousing Reed. And I need one more land to be able to really have a good play next turn. Swings in with everything. I will block the 3-1 on the ground. And now I'm in a really good spot to win this race. If I Rain of Revelation now, I would need to hit exactly a black land, which is not likely to happen. So it looks like I'm slow rolling this. I get double pumps off of casting Grasp. So even though I can't make use of my mana, I'm still getting a lot of value out of that 2 mana. So he gets back, what card? Opt? Pretty okay with him getting an Opt back. Pretty okay with it. And I can threaten lethal. And if I go to damage, he has to opt to pump his guy. So he opts. I can counterspell the opt. Get 2 pumps, untap 4 lands. Cast Rewind, get 2 more pumps. Or cast, you know what I mean, Rain of Revelation. And completely demoralize my opponent. I even had Miscast open to counterspell whatever he tried to do on the following turn. Pretty cool. Finally seeing the power of the Shipwreck Drowser. Doing work. Pretty cool. Taking to 5 wins. I've made back my entry fee. Which is pretty sweet. As you can see, I started to get a bit low there. I think, like, to do a draft in Amonkhet Remastered and feel really good about it, I think I really need to put in the research into all of the cards. Because I just simply can't talk through as many of my interactions and read out important cards and have good results if I'm not familiar enough with every card in the set. It's just kind of how it works out. But I definitely would like to feature some of those videos, to feature that set. I'm a little bit salty that, like, Amonkhet and Hour of Devastation were cards that existed in Magic the Gathering that I played a lot of. I collected almost every card in those sets. Then they removed them when Magic went from beta to live. And then just like at an arbitrary future date, they put those sets back into the game, and I own 0 of the cards now. 0 of the cards that I've already collected. Is not a good feel. Definitely not a good feel. 2 mana prowess. I definitely think that I need to start tapping this guy. The cards I have in hand just weren't very strong. And I'm going to lose hard to this card if I don't find an answer. Pretty amazing. Heartfire Immolator, 2/2 with prowess, pay 1, sack it, deal damage to any target equal to its power. Amazing. I will not block you. Three mana Flyer, 4 mana Rain of Revelation. Miscast is open. I only have 1 blue mana, which is a massive problem. And I need to find Grasp. I need to get as deep in this deck as I can right now, before I die. And that might not be enough. might not be enough. Sanctum of Calm Waters. There's this German architect that I like who legally changed his name in German to be the rough equivalent of it's like calm, serene, still waters. And so every time I see this card, I think of that guy. I think of that guy. What an unexciting turn of events. I'm about to lose this game very hard. Sanctum? Read the tides. Hey-oh. Let's take that Sanctum out. Top end of his curve definitely scares me. Definitely scares me. Prowess triggers even if I counterspell this whatever he's casting. My best hope here is I get to counterspell the Ghost Light. Maybe he just burns off my guy? No. So lucky me. I get to do something meaningful. See if he attacks. He will attack. I will double block the Immolator. And then I'm going to take that out of your hand again. Okay, so blue, black. Freebooter again. I could take Sanctum or Read the Tides. They're both quite painful. They're both very painful. He's one land off casting either. I actually think this is worse. And I have 2 mana open to grasp down the Prowess guy. Which arguably I should have done on my turn. To prevent interaction. So I know the only card in his hand can't interact with this. So let him draw afterwards. There's double Sanctum, so now he can discard a card, pay 1 mana, and deal X damage, so 2. He can pay 1, discard a card, deal 2 damage. Yep, which he shall do. Gets back his 6 mana draw spell. And I'm kind of looking pretty here. Looking pretty. I could not imagine a world where I came back in this game, and it's still looking really rough. I'm not in a great position. I'm behind on lands. He has a really strong engine going in the background. Perhaps taking Sanctum of Shattered Heights was correct over the 6 mana spell. Pitchburn Devils. When it dies, deal 3 damage to any target. And I shall draw. Draw and hope and believe. So I don't know what exactly the order needs to be here. But as long as I have a creature with 2 toughness, it's in range of dying to Sanctum of Shattered Heights. The problem being, if I trade here now, he can kill off Veto. Not that I have a whole lot of choice. So he should attack in. Oh, I messed up. So I can't give him Death Touch and... I can't give him Death Touch and sack my guy. This is quite awkward. I'm gonna block here. Go to damage, and then Village Rites, Veto. I need card draw more than anything. More than anything. I was hoping to hit something with Miscast there. Did not turn out to be the way. So I can look for Grasp, Cancel, Reign of Revelation, Lofty Denial, and Village Rites. Sitting on 5 mana. Not hitting a land was quite problematic. I think I'm taking 3 for a turn. Taking 3 for a turn and bringing back almost always Grasp. Gets to draw 2, discard 1. I don't really see this ever being a game that I win. If I take 3, my guy stays alive. And I don't lose outright to a combat trick. He's probably going to burn my imp. What if we'll burn him twice? That'd be interesting. Go to my turn, still not a single land draw. Ouch. So let's do what I can. Equip my guy. I get to miscast on Soulseer. Triggering Prowess. And I can kill his guy while there are no good targets. Cast Frantic, draw 2. So it takes me to 4 life. Like, I'm not running out of resources by any means. I just don't have the lands to make use of them. So he has this like infinite draw engine in play. And every single turn he'll have more mana to do more stuff than me. Really strong things. Brings back Soulseer. One of the better, this is one of the best reasons to be in red-blue. One of the best reasons. And I can imp, but he can kill off my imp. And I'm going to draw right now, in case I hit a land. Also the 4 life. Nope. So he can discard 2 cards, kill my guy, deal 7 to me. Easy game. Four, 5, 6, 7. So 1 more mana and I can cast the whale, except I die to the 1/1. Ooh. Enters the battlefield, discard up to X cards. What? Up to 2 cards and draw that many cards. That's cool. So, good time to call it. He would have drawn an additional, what, 3 cards on his turn? And had me pretty easily. So, only at 2 losses. Get 1 more chance here. See if I can rack up a few more wins. A little bit of lemon in my water. Generic guy. So, a pretty sweet opening hand. Being on the draw hurts a lot. Leaves double black open. Did not have the grasp, but he did have a pestilent haze. So I'll happily take that. What is this card? Oh, 5 mana, 3/4, destroy an enchantment. Target artifact or enchantment opponent controls. Pretty cool imp guy. Pretty cool imp. The sorcery speed matters a lot on that card. It means he can't kill my guy who gets triggered by prowess. Sanctum of Tranquil Light. So we can spend 5 mana to tap down my guy. He must have mulliganed. Maybe not. I took 1, 2, 3 cards out of his hand. And he's pretty flooded on lands. And this is getting pretty mean. Okay. Tapping down my 2/2. Can do it again. He does it again. Why can't I cast this? Why can I not cast this? So it's time to put him on a clock. And I can get that spell back twice. You can spend 5 mana to tap me every single turn. That's okay. So as long as I leave mana open, I'm pretty much winning this game. If I did drop Shipwreck there, then I'm leaving my opponent open to do something potentially powerful. But it's definitely worth killing. And really good counterspell. That was like the best use of Rewind that I've had in this entire series of games. That was nutty. Nutty powerful. And I can't cast Shipwreck Drowser and do anything with it, so might as well just put more power onto the board and leave mana open to draw. Finally gets to Grasp, means Pestilent Haze is going back to his hand. Which is pretty huge. So I had a mana there, I could have Shipwrecked into a counterspell, but the way it was, only had 1 mana open, and that actually is going to turn around a lot of the game for him. Strong stuff. And Lofty Denial doesn't actually do a whole lot now that he has this much mana. I think I need the spell to be Rewind. And I will leave open 1 mana, or 2 mana I mean, to draw off of Mazemind, excuse me, Mazemind Tome. It's weird to pull Rewind when I can't do anything with it this turn. But now I'm pretty set. I could even get back 1 more card. What mana is it going to use? So pumping the Thallid, and that way he at least trades with the Alpine Watcher, if my opponent wants to do this. And I can replay this. But again, that means I don't have Rewind. But I can have Grasp. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take Grasp out of the deck. Leave 2 mana open to draw. And next turn I can protect myself. So this was a pretty one game. That completely turned around because he drew Grasping Death. Was able to bring back Pestilent Haze. Doing it all day. I still can't win the game with one creature on board, sadly. So he needs 5 mana to pump this. If he taps my guy, he can't bring it. Actually, he can never bring it out of range. So it's weird, I want to use my spells on a turn where I get a use out of the pump. Miscast. And taps down my guy. I still have 9 mana. Yeah. Rain is pretty great. So I just needed to draw relevant cards. "15 cards in my deck. One, two, three, 4 lands on tap. 6 mana open still. Revelation. God damn it. Can't get anything done. Man. Oh, what the hell? Stop auto-passing. Jeez. Stop auto-passing. Woo. Lands. All the lands. Do I have every land in my deck yet? Probably. Close to it. All I need is one more guy. Acolyte. Sure. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. This can only target other creatures. Opponent has 5 mana open, not 6. So I get 1 turn of attacks. And all the lands I could have ever wanted. 6, 12, 13, 14. There are 3 lands left in my deck. But attacking in with 4 means he gains 2 life. So he goes 9 to 5 to 7. Worth. Oh. Did I count wrong? 6 minus 1, 5, yeah. Ridiculous. That is something other than a land. So Rudy's Appendage from Alpha Investments still in the deck to be drawn. If I don't draw it soon, it might just be too late. Might just be too late. This turned into such a dumb game. Actually at risk of milling myself out. So I could swing in for 1 damage, then he taps down one of my guys again and heals for 2. This is essentially my only hope. Like, he has 11 mana, he can tap down 2 creatures a turn. Just waiting for the second shrine. Like, he has to have it, right? How could he not have a second shrine? He has 9 cards in his library. I have 11. He's going to mill out first. That's hilarious. If I win this game by milling him. But, like, holding on to Sanctum makes me think he has to have something else. Another shrine in the deck to synergize. I believe it's Sanctum of Stone. Two lands in my deck? 7, 14, 15? Yeah. 2, and 7. Oh, I'm counting this wrong. I was looking at the 9, so I'm definitely going to mill out first. Let's go next to combat. It's going to tap that guy down. I need Hammerhead. Go no attacks. There. Get on the board. One, 2, 3. So my opponent has to attack me next turn. And he can tap down 2 of my guys. I should have equipped one of my creatures. There's Sanctum of Stonefangs. But the life clock I don't think really matters. Discounting this does matter. So he can tap down 2 guys, then he has to attack with everything. Block. Death Touch. Death Touch. I still lose this game, because he can tap down 2 of my creatures on each of my turns. Counterspell, I have 4 turns left in this game. Gains 2 life, deals 2 damage every single turn. What a ridiculous game. No thank you. You may not. What are my last 3 cards? Sanctum of Calm Waters. It's gonna kill me 1 turn faster. This is so annoying. Three turns left. No. So I don't think there is anything that would have interacted with the shrines in play in my deck. Sad old shrine win con. Getting stopped at 5 wins. Still pretty good. 1,600 gems, 4 packs. Pretty solid. Definitely rewatching the game, I'm sure I'll find probably a different line of play that could have led to a win there. I was holding open mana for counterspells for a long time. And the one turn where I couldn't counterspell, they got back the Pestilent Haze and wiped the board, which I probably played into by filling the board up too much. So a big loss in tempo there for me. But tight game. That's the way things go. This has been Rational Magic, bringing you limited content, hopefully, each and every day. Thanks for watching, and come back for more.